Welcome to the KJ Today Show. It is so exciting to have you here with us tonight when we are going to have an Academy Award winner, a Golden Globe winner.
God. What?
We are going to have Gina Davis on our show tonight.
We made it.
Jana, can you believe it?
We made it. I'm so proud of us.
This is going to be really special. The conversation was amazing. The questions that you brought, so helpful. And that is going to be coming up here in just a little bit. I hope that you are staying cool and that the positive vibes are coming for you. They are coming for you now if you have found us. The KJ Today Show is 60 minutes of positive vibes featuring pop culture, people to know, and pets. And we are already lined up for you, along with Gina Davis, our featured cat dad for Father's Day. As we continue that feature is Dustin Pari from Ghost Hunters.
Ooh.
And his cat Raisin, the Sphynx cat, who steals the show on his Twitter page.
Most cats do end up stealing the show.
And we're going to feature one of your pets. We've got a pet of the week coming, and we also have National Take Your Cat to Work Day. Cats who work in the office. So there you go. We're going to kick the show off with what's popping in pop culture with Jana. But first, there are some things that you need to know, like, have you signed up for the Symphony on the Prairie tickets? Symphony on the Prairie, presented by Kroger, begins this weekend at Conner Prairie, and we have tickets for you. Go to kjcrew.com and get yourself signed up right now, because we are going to give those tickets away towards the end of the show. That'll be right around 7:50. So you've got some time right now to get signed up, and this puts you in the drawing for all of our contests that we will be doing. Next week we have Symphony on the Prairie tickets for their Star Spangled Symphony on the 4th of July, so you could be doing that, and more winning to come. If you are a Schitt's Creek fan, stick around, because we have a big announcement about a special guest coming to the KJ Today Show. And finally, as an interactive show, if you are watching live, we love it. Check in with your KJ crew number if you already have one. And please tell us where you are checking in from, your city, your state. Hi, Sam Jackson. Thank you for checking in. Crew number 9. Michelle, crew number 3. And also, bring that good news. We want you to tell us something good. Hey, listener Jim, check in with that number, please.
Oh, it's Grandpa Patches.
Tell me something good. At the end of this show, we are going to make sure that we go out on a high note, and that is with your good news. We'll bring you a little good news. You bring us a little good news. And we always have, I love the end of the show. It's like we got pets, we got good news, we got all the good vibes. And already things are starting out great because you are checking in with us. The positive vibes, if you don't already know, are powered by Summer Bash Indiana. Yes, we are so excited for Summer Bash coming up July 8th and 9th. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about how when you get your ticket with our special code, you save $10 and you give $10 to Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary.
That's so great.
I know. More on that coming up. But first, let's talk about what's popping in pop culture. Poo, pow, 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 poo, 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 poo. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Poo, pow, 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 poo, pow, 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 pow.
That's terrible.
What's popping with producer China?
So sad that she didn't forget to do the sound effects.
Oh man,
Paul, if you could get to work on my sound effects, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I don't know if musical director Paul has his computer blew up. So
I know Patches blew up his computer. I know he did.
Yep.
Somehow, some way. He did it.
Reminder, producer Patches is in the basement because he tends to blow up electrical things. But we do have our Shanghai
As we do.
crystal to protect us from producer Patches. Hello, Kevin Mitchell. He's crew number 48. Thanks for checking in, man. So glad you're here. All right, Jonna. What's popping? What's popping?
I apologize to people listening to this as a podcast. All right. So,
yeah.
As we all know, my favorite channel, the Hallmark Channel,
yes,
is going to be starting its Merriest Week starting tomorrow, going to June 30th, where it's 24/7 Christmas movies.
What is this?
Hallmark's Merriest Week, 24/7 Christmas movies.
Wait, it's Christmas in June?
Yep.
Oh.
I mean, they have a lot of Christmas. Hallmark has like a lot of Christmas movies, so they got to really like just kind of throw them in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, sure.
Sporadically throughout the year.
Okay.
So very excited about that.
All right. And then, that is a great way to kind of like get us in the mood for Christmas in July.
Yay. So excited. Got new movies for us to watch.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh my gosh. So it's 12 days of Chris Evans because we love him here. We celebrate him here every day. If you stay for the end credits, which are, yes, the best part of the show,
Facts.
You will see that we give a special shout out to Chris Evans every single week.
Every time.
And do you mind, Jonna, if I share a little bit of pop culture news while we're talking about Chris Evans?
I would love that. I always love Chris Evans news. Someone
finally flat out asked him about playing Johnny Storm again.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I saw that interview.
And I mean, not only did he say yes, but he was like, yes, Johnny Storm deserves a better story.
He does, in fact.
Yeah.
They didn't do a whole lot with Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four movies. So.
Well, I mean, they were, not everyone's favorite movies, but for him,
I liked those movies.
I did too. We still watch them.
I watch. I literally just turn it on to be like in the background. I like it so much.
It's like when sometimes you just want a fun movie, like it's not too deep. It's it's predictable enough, right? It's just a good little, guilty pleasure superhero movie. I don't always want, and it's so much of today's entertainment is so intense.
Yeah.
And I don't always want that. I'm like, where's my kind of like whimsical, fun, just escape for a little bit movie?
Yeah. I also watch not the Green Lantern, the Green Hornet with Seth Rogen. I watch that too sometimes. It's good. It's really funny.
I've not seen that. I think because producer Patches hates Seth Rogen.
Patches, you hate Seth Rogen? What?
He does. Look, he's not. Defend yourself, producer Patches.
He's grown on me watching a bunch of interviews with him throughout the past few years, but I think it's his laugh, and I hate the fact that he is like best friends with James Franco, because James Franco has arguably the most punchable face on the planet. So, I mean, that's just me.
Okay, I did not know that you disliked. I knew that you disliked Seth Rogen, but not because of James Franco.
You can't be mad at him by association, Patches. Not fair.
He grew on me a little bit in 40-Year-Old Virgin, and then he just went off into all these movies with Franco, and it's just like, oh God, stop. And then, then I lost complete respect for him. And then I got back in. Is like I said, listening to the interviews with him here the past few years, he's grown on me a little bit. I don't have such vitriol, and I shouldn't have, because, we shouldn't even be talking about it, because this is a place for positive vibes.
It really is.
This is a safe space, Patches.
But I would love to punch James Franco in the face.
Okay, Patches.
So aggressive.
You need to counter that with one positive thing that you can say to James Franco right now.
James Franco, I love the success you have had. You've obviously put the work in, and you've earned every bit of it.
That was so insincere.
It was so rehearsed. Like, you could tell he probably thought about it. Like, he was like, okay, I have to come up with something.
Oh, I totally pulled that one out of my butt. 100%.
Congratulations on your success, James.
I'm
Franco.
glad you have money or whatever. I cannot hear you. All right. Well.
Oh, hang on, Jonna. We got some breaking news.
Oh, I love this graphic.
Breaking news, Jonna. Next week, joining us on the KJ Today Show from Schitt's Creek, we are going to have, oh my gosh, I can't even believe that this is happening. We are going to have Noah Reid on the show. Like, Noah Reid, who played Patrick on Schitt's Creek. I know Jonna is trying to fake some enthusiasm right now because she doesn't watch Schitt's Creek. And I really like, that's some really great fake enthusiasm, Jonna.
Thank you. I'm very good at it.
Yeah, there's Noah. He plays Patrick on Schitt's Creek. Fabulous. Just a wonderful love story between him and David on Schitt's Creek.
I was gonna say he looks familiar, so I think I've probably seen like an episode or two where he's in it. So.
Yes, and you know he's in Outer Range, that show with Josh Brolin that's on Prime Video. It's good. It's like it again. You know, it's intense. It's really intense, and he plays such a weird. Like he's kind of like a simple country boy, and it's so weird because that's not who he is at all. Like it took me a second to even realize. I was like, "What? Noah Reid's supposed to be in this? Where's Noah Reid?" And I'm like, "That weirdo's." He has a new album out. It's called Adjustments, and I was listening to it today, and it's just like good. I mean, it is. I'm not saying this just because our show is positive vibes, and you know, and our show is brought to you by Summer Bash and bringing the positive vibes. Noah Reid brings the positive vibes.
All
it's
the
like
positive vibes.
Good, kind of like just chill music.
Right.
I was listening to it while I was putting the show together today.
Oh, look at you.
So if you have questions for Noah Reid, anything about Schitt's Creek, anything about his musical career, please send me your questions.
And I will say what we have watched of the show so far, I think it was like, the second episode, hello, Melody, that we, yes, my princess is down here with me.
Cat's at work.
Cat, yeah, she is executive producing the show right now.
Yeah, she is.
But there was a spot, I think it was in the second episode, where he started singing. And it was just like, oh, God, I forgot what a great voice he has.
Oh, yeah. And there's a moment in Outer Range, and I swear they just put this in here because he's such a great singer. Because he's such a weird dude, and they don't even explain it. There's a moment where he is just standing in front of the mirror in whitey tighties.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And he's singing I Have Nothing.
Whitney Houston.
By Whitney Houston. And then he's like blank stare. So like simpleton guy, like, you know, country simple guy, right? He's just like blank stare in his whitey tighties.
The old white tighty Hanes right there.
I have nothing. And then they just cut away from it. And you're like,
did it have anything to do with like what was going on in the episode? Like, I have
I
nothing,
hope so.
You know, like,
no.
Is he in love with anybody? Like,
no.
God, I hope so, man.
It was like setting the vibe.
Maybe they finally got the rights to the Whitney Houston song, and they're like, toss it in there, let's do it, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amazon's like, we pay ASCAP a lot of money. Right. We're putting this in.
He sang it beautifully, but it's this really intense show, right? You're like, what's happening after the end of every episode? You have more questions and you have answers. You're like, oh my God, what's happening? And then you're like, what is happening? Why is he in his underwear singing Whitney Houston?
I also love to sing Whitney Houston, but with clothes on.
I will, you know what? I will ask him about that scene when
I need to know
when I get to talk to Noah. And again, if you
I'm
have
gonna
any
send
questions,
you, what are you gonna talk to him? Because I'm gonna send you a text and be like, "Don't forget."
We are actually talking Friday morning.
Okay.
So it'll
Bet.
be, I'll record it Friday morning and then we'll have the highlights for you. You'll be the first ones to get to hear the conversation with Noah Reed. And I promised to ask him about his underpants.
Oh, okay. Bet. I'm going to set a reminder on my phone. Be like, ask KJ about the whitey tighties.
I don't, maybe it had, maybe like it was like an inside joke thing. Like maybe he was talking about when he was a kid, he used to sit in front of the mirror and they're like, oh, we're totally having you do that.
We're recreating this moment for you for nostalgia.
All right, John, I didn't mean to commandeer your what's popping in pop culture. What else you got?
That's okay. So my new favorite show, which I'm so glad got renewed for a second season, Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Only Murders in the Building, season 2, coming out June 28th. And I'm so excited.
Wow.
It's coming out on Hulu. Literally, if y'all haven't watched it, please go watch it. It's literally so good and so funny.
It's funny?
It's funny. Steve Martin and Martin Short, they're just like...
Okay. Yeah, it would be weird if they were together and not funny.
Yeah, and Selena Gomez adds a lot of like little quips because she's like, you know, the young person hanging out with all these old people. She's like, God, you guys are so old. Like...
All right, guys, coming up, we have Gina Davis standby. If you tuned in for Gina Davis, she is coming up as a special guest. And before that, we actually have special guest Dustin Pari from the Ghost Hunters talking about his cats. And we ask him a little paranormal question as well. Jana, is there anything else popping that you want to make sure we know about?
Well, on my roadmap here, it says that the Obi-Wan Kenobi season finale is out now.
It is. It is. It's killing me that we haven't seen it.
You haven't watched it yet?
No. You know, we get home on Wednesdays. I work all day on the show. Do you guys know how hard I work on this show? Please, just give me a moment.
Please just keep me.
Work so hard on this show. Doctor Strange on Disney Plus. That's right. Doctor Strange is out now, so you can watch that. Nice. Obi-Wan Kenobi season finale, and coming up on Friday, The Boys.
Yes, that is also on the roadmap. The Boys season finale.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Jana. You can follow along with all of my accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. We keep you up to date on pop culture, give you a little positive vibes every day. And of course, the pets. All the pets. And we are talking about helping out the pets when we go to Summer Bash, Indiana, July 8th and 9th. It is coming up. It is at the Water Bowl in Muncie, and 2 stages of live music, 17 bands, $80 for an all-inclusive ticket. That's tent camping both Friday and Saturday if you want to do both nights. Hot dogs and hamburgers, all inclusive all day on Saturday. Your water, your soda, your wine, your beer. Again, that is all included in this $80 ticket. But wait, there's more. Jana, check it out. Oh my gosh, get your tickets right now. If you go to summerbashindiana.com and you get your tickets using the promo code KJ today, not only are you going to save $10, so that $80 all-inclusive ticket becomes $70, but then they take $10 more and they donate it to Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary. That is where Johnny Storm came from, and that is where we are going to have the largest sanctuary in the Midwest for pets. You can help build that by getting your ticket to Summer Bash, Indiana. Again, use that promo code KJ today. Save $10, donate $10. And Jana, there are only 2 rules to Summer Bash, Indiana. What are they?
Okay, they are, number 1, no glass is allowed. So don't bring your glass bottles or cups in there because they are not allowed.
Thank you.
Second one is don't be a dick.
Thank you.
I do what I can to memorize the rules.
Want to thank everybody who submitted their cats at work on Facebook. I was on Wish TV earlier this morning, Lifestyle Live, talking about how you should not participate in National Take Your Cat to Work Day because cats don't want to go to work with you. But a lot of cats do work. And so I asked for, cats that work at offices, cats that work in shops, and we got so many adorable cats hard at work. So coming up, Indy's hardest working cats as part of the Pet of the Week later on in the show. Gina Davis is less than 10 minutes away, but let's get our first cat dad on. Well, she's not a cat dad. She's our next guest. Our first guest is a cat dad. I'll get it together.
We're only live. It's fine.
If you are a fan of paranormal, you know him from the original Ghost Hunters. Dustin Pari is an incredible inspirational speaker. He's a motivational speaker. His Twitter is all the positive vibes. And he happens to have an adorable cat named Raisin, who is a Sphynx cat.
Sphynx cat.
Yes. So when I was working on this story about Sphynx cats for Pet Pals TV, my friend Kitsy Duncan from Paranormal Crossroad was like, hey, I could probably get Dustin to do an interview with you. And I was like, no way. Dustin from Ghost Hunters will talk to me. And I tell you what, he loved talking about his cat.
Most cat owners do.
Please welcome to the show, Dustin Pari from Ghost Hunters, telling us first how he ended up with his cat.
We have 4, counting little Raisin. And I was never a cat guy. My wife and daughter like the cats, and I like my wife and daughter, and so we get cats. I always grew up, there was a cat in the house, but I always focused on the dogs when I was a kid, And now Raisin has become like my favorite thing to hang out with, like around the house. I carry her around everywhere. I buy her little clothes. My wife's like, what'd you order her this time? I'm like, new little t-shirt. It's got this on it or that. I love to dress her up. It's so weird, but I really have taken to this cat. We developed a pattern where she has trained me now as she went to be spayed, like as you do. And when we brought her home, she's got a little cone of shame on thing and you feel bad for him. So every night in effort to try to stop her from picking at her stitches, I would get one of her blankets and wrap her up in it and put her in her little bed, nice and tight, swaddle her in there. Well, the stitch is healed, but now every night around 10:30, 11, she's at my door crying and I have to go out and wrap her up and put her in her bed. This has become our nightly routine.
Isn't she so cute?
So cute. She said she needs to be in a blankie every night.
Well, and they do, like part of that breed. I mean, they don't have fur, so they get cold.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, oh, they're so affectionate. Well, they are, but they're really cold and you're warm. So real men love cats. Thank you, Kitty Mama 777 for watching with us. Of course, he was happy to talk paranormal stuff, but he really wanted to talk about his cat. So I was like, how do I bring up Ghost Hunters without being like, can we talk about Ghost Hunters, Dustin? So I asked him a question about his cat, the paranormal. And I mean, because of your Ghost Hunters connection, I have to ask, is there anything about her, cats tend to be very energetically in tune. Is there anything that she has noticed along the way or you've picked up on from her, intelligence and her energy?
Well, I do notice one of my friends that does this type of work, my friend Cody, he's been on Ghost Nation a couple of times. When he's over, it seems when my ghostly friends are over, she seems to be a little bit more interactive and social, So I don't know if she's just into that kind of thing herself or what the deal is. Picked up on the spirits around us, I'm not sure. But she definitely seems to have favorites, and they seem to be paranormal people.
So there you go. I got a little paranormal talk in there with him.
Oh man, that's good. He's like, yeah, she likes paranormal people, but like not specifically, but specifically.
Our cats. I was surprised that he wasn't like, oh yeah, she sees things. She doesn't. But our cats. I mean, You've been over here, Jana. They chase things that aren't there.
They do.
They do.
They
They
do.
really do. They love the paranormal
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, dogs do that too.
Now my favorite moment from talking with Dustin, and by the way, we had like a 15-20 minute conversation about his cat. And it was all entertaining. I wasn't like, dude, enough about your cat.
You would never say such a thing.
I tend to get bored before most people. So
That's true. I would agree with that.
that is why we can fit so much into 60 minutes,
True.
is because trust me, I'm bored before anybody. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I should have cut this clip down even more. And it's like 30 seconds.
Oh, is that why when I edit clips, you're like, I cut it down more because it was getting boring? Is that
Yes,
I knew it.
I get bored with myself. I just like, trust me, you're never going to be bored on this show because I will be bored way before you. But the best moment was, and I had to ask his permission to grab a video of him singing. But if you follow Dustin on Twitter or Instagram, he will post videos of himself singing to Raisin, and you can find her hashtag is hashtag Raisin the Sphynx cat, and you can find all these videos of him singing to her, and she just loves it. So here is Dustin talking about and singing to Raisin the cat.
It's weird too because with her little wrinkled face, she looks like she might be grumpy all the time, but she's really not. So I've taken a singing tour. I make little videos and put them online where I serenade her, and it's just fun.
Ooh, I need your love, babe. I guess you know it's true. I hope you need my love, girl, just like I need you. Hold me, love me.
It's so funny because it's like so perfect, that like wrinkly little face that their smiles, right, are just like, you still don't really look like you're very
Exactly. That's what I tell my wife. I'm like, she needs me to let her know she's beautiful and special, because the world has treated them bad.
What a good dad.
And can I just say, what a great singing voice he has.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, like that. He has a really rich voice. I was so impressed.
Yeah, you should say. I mean, there's tons of videos of him singing to Raisin, and he's phenomenal. He should be putting out an album. Dustin Pari, where's your album?
Right? Yeah, get a little soul in there, man. Come on.
Right.
Dustin Pari sings the hits to his cat.
Right. I'd buy it.
Even though Father's Day is over, and happy Father's Day to all of the dads, cat dads, dog dads, tiny humans, big humans, everybody that's a dad. Thank you for indulging us in featuring cat dads all month. Colton Haynes was so much fun to have on.
I love him.
Oh my God, the guy from Kansas, Rich from Kansas,
Yeah.
Did not expect the guitarist from Kansas to be like, let me tell you about my cats. By the way, Colton Haynes, the entire interview, full, unedited, all glorious 8 minutes that I got with him, now on YouTube. And I created, if you go to youtube.com/KJ Today, you'll see a playlist of KJ Today celebrity interviews, which you'll get the full Peter Facinelli interview, talk about Twilight, because we get you clips here, because again, I get bored. So just the clips.
New t-shirt made. Just
the clips. And the full interviews, Peter Facinelli, Colton Haynes, I just put up like right before this. But then even interviews that, maybe you haven't seen before, like when I talked to William Shatner and Giancarlo Esposito. So you can just like put those celebrity interviews on a loop and up our spins and our plays on YouTube.
Please. Help us. KJ put so much work into that playlist, guys. Please go listen.
I did.
To it.
Tiffany, the 80s singer Tiffany. I got
Tiffany.
That's on the playlist. It's all over the place. I mean, and our supernatural interviews like Misha Collins.
Yeah. But to be fair, we are all over the place. So it makes sense that our celebrity interview playlist will be all over the place.
We need to stay focused.
Never.
Jana,
Never.
focus.
Never.
All right, stand by for Gina Davis. She is coming up in less than 60 seconds. But I want to definitely thank everybody who came to Monumental Yoga yesterday and said hello to the Indie Holistic Hub. It was so hot. I can't even believe that so many people turned out, and they're healthy people, right? So they're like hydrating and doing all the things. Indie Holistic Hub is a wonderful sponsor of the KJ Today show, and we appreciate their support so much. And if you are looking for support, maybe you're looking for a great yoga instructor. This is where I found my bowspring yoga instructor, which is cat yoga.
Okay, I was like, what did she say?
Yeah.
Did you say bowspring?
Bowspring. So it's a form, Jana, that you get yourself into the bowspring, and it opens up your central channel, helps you breathe more, focus, calm down.
Okay.
But all of the poses are like crouching cat and humble cat. But she's telling me this. Samantha Simpson is a member of the Indie Holistic Hub. If you want to do cat yoga, she has a cat named Steve. He's big and fluffy, and he joins for the sessions.
OMG, I have a car named Steve.
So go to indieholistichub.com. You can search that directory for great holistic professionals to help you on your way to a better you. Now let's do this. Let's talk about Gina Davis.
Please.
Gina called me to talk about this film festival, which is near and dear to her heart because it's in her hometown.
Okay.
So I'm like, why are we talking about the Bentonville Film Festival? Right? Like in Arkansas. What are we doing here?
Arkansas?
So Gina Davis is originally from Bentonville, Arkansas, which is a town of about 50,000 people. So not big,
not a big town. Not super small.
This is the 8th annual film festival. She goes back to her hometown and she throws the film festival she wants because she's Gina Davis and she can do that, right? And it's cool because the two things they focus on are women and diversity.
Ooh.
So, she is a big advocate for getting more women into filmmaking, representation in filmmaking. And so the films, it's a virtual film fest now, so we can be a part of it. But I'm telling Jana, we want to go to this film festival. You hang out with Gina Davis all weekend in a little park in a little town in Arkansas, and they show like Encanto and Black Panther and like.
Are you trying to steer me away? Because I want to book tickets now.
I know, right? So it's coming up this weekend. So
that'll be a really expensive trip.
So I started off talking to Gina before we got into, all right, let's talk about A League of Their Own and the new series coming. Let's talk about all these sequels that, movies she was in that are getting sequels. And then we actually had a really beautiful moment. One of the questions that came in from a listener was more of a statement to let her know how much she impacted the life of their child.
I only cried like
kid. I know.
Much.
So it's all the feels. But let's start with Gina Davis, Academy Award winner, Golden Globe winner, talking about how excited she was to go back to her hometown for her film festival.
Well, it's fun. When I go to Bentonville now, it starts on the plane to that area of Arkansas where a lot of people look at me like with raised eyebrows, like, I know why you're on this plane. So it's fun. It's really fun to have this festival.
Have you ever been on a plane or in the airport and seen a celebrity?
No. I wish. I wish that would happen to me.
I think the only one that we have was a wrestler that I didn't know, but producer Patches, where you're standing in line with your ticket. They're like, okay, now it's like everybody in B, like you're like the last ones to board, right? And we're standing in the back, and he's like, I think I know this guy. I know this guy. And like they're calling all of the different sections. Now this section can come, and he's still not going. He's still not going. We're not going. He's not going. We were like the last ones to get on the plane. I'm like, this is a professional wrestler, and he's boarding the plane last.
Yeah, he's in group like F or G or H or double R or something like that.
The group where it's like, the rest of y'all can finally get on the plane.
Yeah, the name of the wrestler, his WWE name was James Ellsworth. He was Carmella's go-to guy, but he was the nicest guy on the planet. I mean, we really had a great time talking to him.
I still follow him on Instagram. Like we were like, oh, follow each other. Okay, all right, get on the plane.
He just saw that blue check mark and he was like, "Yep, I need that."
He said, "Are you guys getting on this plane? Hop on, come on. You guys taking too long. We're trying to leave."
So Gina Davis has now hopped on a plane. She's going back to Bentonville, Arkansas, for the film festival that she can't wait to do every single year. I mean, how cool would that be? Like, have come from a small town and then have the fame and be like, you know where I'm doing my festival? In the little park in my little town.
Right. That's what's gonna happen when we get famous, KJ.
I will tell you, I was so nervous. Like, I mean, I've interviewed some really cool people, and I have nerves no matter who I talk to, because I don't want to disappoint them because they're taking their time to talk to me. But like Gina Davis, I was like, I mean, the full interview will go up on the YouTube channel, but it was like the first that she started talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's your voice. Which, like, yeah, that's my voice. I'm like, oh crap.
Yes, I am in fact Gina Davis.
She was so nice. She was so nice because I'm like, oh yeah, that's your voice.
She's fangirling so hard.
But I turn to you, the KJ crew, for these questions. And I always post on Facebook, hey, what do you want to know? And so I immediately went to the questions because you guys brought great questions. And I believe there were a lot of people who wanted to ask about A League of Their Own, especially with the new series coming. And I believe it was Bonnie in the Kind of Nerdy Network who, was specifically like, how does she feel about that new one? So here's Gina Davis, not only talking about the new one, but what it's like to still have that movie be so impactful. I saw just this couple weekends ago a young woman walking around at the convention here in Indianapolis called PopCon, and she was dressed as Donnie. And I thought, how amazing that movie is, because this, I mean, Gina, you and I could talk about this because I know this girl was not alive when that movie came out. But what's it like for you to still be impacting those young women?
Greatest thing ever. I mean, I had no idea that the movies would last this. There wasn't really much in the way of movies living on. 30 years ago, which is when League of Their Own came out. But I had the same number of girls and young women tell me that they play sports because of that movie as when it came out, because everybody sees it. It's like a rite of passage. When you're a kid to see that movie.
Any thoughts on the new series that they're coming out with all the new characters that's going to be inspired by A League of Their Own?
Oh yeah, I'm excited about it. This actually called me when they were first thinking about it, and just wanted to tell me how excited they were and everything. And I said, this is fantastic. Go for it. Yeah, it'll be fun to see, because it's the same period, but it's just not us. I think all of us on the movie are going to be fascinated to watch, and very grateful it's not a remake.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard about the series, it's not a remake. It's going to be set in the same time frame with a different team. So it's like different women going through the same struggles and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
But so it'll be really, really cool because it'll feel familiar, but we're getting different stories.
Love that.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
That's so much better than, trying to recreate what they had.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and that's I think that's why one of the things I like with period pieces like that, because you can just keep going and going and going. You can have years and years of a TV series because like Westerns, how many Westerns have been made throughout the course of history, right? How many World War II era, which this is, as a matter of fact, this is in that time period. And I think that's brilliant, like that these guys are taking that chance, especially with the younger audience, but being able to have it streaming the way it is and move forward and like showing like how strong, the women's All-American Baseball League was back in a time where they shouldn't have been, and they kept sports in this country going.
Thanks, Patches. That was a lot of. That's producer Patches. That's some positive vibes from producer Patches. So glad, Patches.
Finally.
Right, because we got our first mad emoji ever on the KJ Today
I know.
show because of you talking bad about James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Well, in one of
Thanks a lot, Patches.
Well, honestly, that I could have been a little easier about that, but
Listen, Patches, enough about you. It's time to get back to Gina Davis.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, next biggest question that we had coming from you, and of course, like, I'm interested in these things too, but it's always easier if it's like, well, I'm not asking about all these sequels.
You can always just make up a listener. Be like, hey, Karen said, what about sequels?
So, what about all these sequels, Gina? I had a question from Mary that said, besides all the sequels and reboots that are happening, is there any role that you've ever played that you would like to revisit or felt like needed more story?
Perfect question, because every movie I've done, I have wanted to do a sequel to. Except some of the movies. I think we need to accept that they really did become athletes at the bottom of the section. But every movie I've done, because I fall in love with the characters and I want to keep going. And I had an idea for a sequel to The Fly, which was going to be called Fly, like Alien and Aliens. I have an idea for a sequel to League of Their Own, which would be called Little League of Their Own.
Oh!
Which I think is a genius type. So every movie, and particularly most Long Kiss Goodnight, I wanted to do it.
Oh my gosh. You know what, Gina, I hope somehow, some way that comes true. Oh, I do. Get Samuel L. Jackson back.
Love me some Samuel L. Jackson, man.
Before we get to this very special moment with Gina, that it came from you, a mother who watches the show and is a Make-A-Wish mom.
Oh.
That has a very special connection to Gina with her daughter. I do want to, because you're going to get some feels here. I do want to ask you for some feels. Make sure as we approach here towards the end of the show that you give us some good news. So hop in the comments, tell us something good that's going on in your life, because we don't leave this show until we get some good news from you. All right. Here is my conversation continuing with Gina Davis on the KJ Today Show. I got a comment from a Make-A-Wish mother, and I'm happy to report that her daughter Grace was, I work with Make-A-Wish, it was a child and is now a grown adult, but she immediately said, please tell Gina that Grace loved her in Grey's Anatomy because your character was going through the same kind of brain tumor that Grace was, and you really inspired her during that time. What's it like for you when you get that kind of feedback from fans?
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Wow. That's very cool to hear. Thank you, Grace, for mentioning that. But, well, you know, it's incredible. I mean, to be in something that you like or that's good, that's all great. But to have it impact the real world is very, you know, it's wonderful. And I think people don't realize how impactful what we see on screen is, and how it can actually change the culture. You know, it can change what we see as normal, for instance. That's why we think if we show a lot of diversity in the film festival and in our movies, then you know, it will be more normalized for real life.
I only cried like a little bit when I was editing that. I was like, we're not. It's fine. You don't have to cry.
And I talked with Grace's mom, Stephanie, a couple hours ago, and just let her know I'd found those pictures from, you know, Grace was 4 when she got her wish granted. And it was the most adorable wish. She made friends with another girl in chemo, and their wish was to go on their wish trip together. Like it was beautiful.
Okay, I'll be crying.
And Jana, Grace turned 16 on May 19th. So
happy belated birthday,
belated birthday, Grace. Thank you so much for letting me still be a little tiny part of your life. And thanks to Make-A-Wish for doing what they do and in giving hope and granting wishes. Wow, we talked to Gina Davis. Well, I did.
Well, you talked to Gina Davis. I listened to you talk to Gina Davis.
But we all did, because that, like, what happened there doesn't happen without, you know, those questions and comments and things like that. So please, if you are just tuning in, remember that we've got next week on the show Noah Reed, who is Patrick on Schitt's Creek. I'm going to be talking to him on Friday, so I need your questions. And you just saw the kjcrew.com website. That is where you go right now to get signed up for Symphony on the Prairie tickets. You could be there this weekend for opening weekend. I've got 2 tickets that we are going to give away before the end of the show. And all you have to do is go to kjcrew.com to get signed up. Want to say thank you again to Summer Bash, Indiana. I can't tell you how, I mean, I just think about how excited I am to be a part of this community. They've been so welcoming to our KJ Today viewers and followers that somebody asked a question. Michelle was asking last week, you know, about, you know, the promo code and how much is the ticket, what exactly is included. And, you know, like the Summer Bash family was just answering questions and helping out. Summer Bash Indiana is a sponsor of the KJ Today show. And as a matter of fact, they bring you our positive vibes. So bring your positive vibes and expect to have a wonderful time at Summer Bash Indiana, an all-inclusive music festival. That means everyone is welcome. And it means that your ticket includes camping for both Friday and Saturday night. If you want to do both nights, it also includes hamburgers and hot dogs all day Saturday, water, soda, wine, and beer all day Saturday, all inclusive. Your parking, your taxes, your ticketing fees, it is all included. It's an $80 ticket. And here's the deal. If you use that promo code, which is KJ Today, not only are you going to save $10, so it goes down to $70, but they are going to donate $10 as well to Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary, which is also in Muncie. Save $10, donate $10, use promo code KJ Today, and get your Summer Bash tickets at summerbashindiana.com. I am looking forward to seeing you there. All right. Jana, how you feeling?
I'm feeling a little hungry over here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we got What's Cooking with Producer Patches and the Cats coming up after the show. That is our official after show.
It's really just what's going on with the cats and Patches is cooking in the background.
Well,
It's-
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
it's entertaining.
100%.
And last week, those of you who tuned in for What's Cooking with Patches got the insider information that we might be having Noah Reed from Schitt's Creek on the show.
Yes.
And so maybe we'll have a little more insider information, and it might involve Schitt's Creek. Maybe if we get permission coming up
Yep.
on What's Cooking with Producer Patches, the official after party.
The official after party.
The official after party of the KJ Today Show, powered by PopCod and Summer Bash.
Oh, thank you. And don't forget Indie Holistic Hub.
Can't forget Indie Holistic Hub.
And Indie Holistic Hub.
Thank you. And proud to be Indiana owned.
Ooh.
And the KJ Today Show is proud to be Indiana owned.
Oh, you remember when Patches used to be our voice guy?
I do. Yes. Okay. So, Jana, I want to do this real quick. Okay. All right. Because I know Stranger Things is back next week.
Yeah, next Friday.
All right. Next Friday, Stranger Things, the second part.
Second part to season 4.
Season 4. Okay. All right. We have a little game on the show.
Oh,
It's
no.
called One Must Go.
No.
And Jana got out of it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Jana got out of it. And she was like, hey, it was on the roadmap. And she was like, hey, I don't have to do One Must Go.
We didn't have time.
We didn't have time. And I was like, oh, you just wait. And she didn't even know you didn't even know what it was.
I didn't.
She just knew that she was on the schedule for One Must Go. So, Jana, it is time for One Must Go.
Oh,
Stranger Things.
I'm stressed.
I'm going to give you 2 characters. One of them has to go.
Oh, God.
Nope, there's no pain in this. There's no suffering. They just are immediately
I love all the babies.
wiped out. All right, let's start here. Joyce or Hopper?
Oh, no.
One must go. Who's gone, John?
Joyce.
Goodbye, Joyce.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Could you tell us why?
I don't know. It's not that I don't love Winona Ryder because I
Right.
totally do, but like, I don't know. She's just like, I don't have a good reason. She was just the first picture I saw because I love her character. I love Winona Ryder as Joyce, like, and then I love David Harbour as Hopper, and they're just such a dynamic duo when they're together, and it just I'm sorry, Joyce.
All right, Jana, one must go.
Steve. I love Dustin way too much.
That was easy. All right, and one must go.
Oh no. They've both been through so much. Oh God. Oh man.
This is 11 and Will.
Will, yeah. Poor
11
Will.
or Will.
They don't love him. I feel so bad for Will.
I know you do. So are you gonna save him because you feel bad for him?
No, because he's giving me like villain arc thoughts right now.
Okay.
Like the way the season ended.
He had to at some point. I mean, and he's gone through enough. He has a right to go dark for a
Literally,
little
like
while.
the first 2 seasons were like he's missing, and now he's sick with like a
right
demigorgon inside of him. Like, but they wouldn't be able to save the world without 11. So, like, I'm sorry, Will. I love you so much. Noah, I love you so much, but you gotta go. And I don't know who's cutting your hair for the show, but they need to stop. They have to. The bowl cut is not a good frame for your face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love all of you, though. I promise. I'm gonna cry about this tonight.
Jana, I know. It's gonna be one of our highlights. Jana suffering through one must go. All right, we are going to get to Pet of the Week, which is a bunch of cats who work, Indy's hardest working cats. And before we do that, we need to give away some tickets. I'm just going to scroll through here and see where it ends up. We have got Symphony on the Prairie tickets. Look, I'm closing my eyes, but I'm kind of looking to make sure I don't screw up and scroll like off the screen.
Cracking up.
And those tickets are going to Sarah Thrasher. She is KJ Crew number 29.
Is that actually her number? Because
I double checked. I double checked. Yes, because the way our list works, right? It's one higher, right?
Yeah.
Yep. She is crew number 29.
Got it.
We're low budget here. Sarah, I will reach out to you by email and we will get you hooked up. Congratulations. Next week, Kroger Symphony on the Prairie tickets will be for the Star Spangled Symphony on July 4th. So if you haven't signed up for KJ's Crew yet, go to kjcrew.com.
I want to go to that. That sounds fun.
Doesn't it? Have you ever been to Symphony on the Prairie?
I have not, and
Oh
I
my
actually
gosh.
quite enjoy the symphony, but I've never actually been to Symphony on the
It's
Prairie.
so much fun. I tell you though, if you ever have a chance to see one of your favorite artists do Symphony on the Prairie, just know that you're never going to want to see them again because they've played with a symphony and now it's not good enough. I saw John McLaughlin at Symphony on the Prairie, and it was like I love him. He's like one of those people, like on a day where I'm just having a day, I'm like, play my John McLaughlin radio station. And so John McLaughlin I just saw today that he announced that he is doing tour dates to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of his album Indiana. I'm like,
Wow.
oh my gosh. And I still was like, I would love to go to that, but it won't be as cool as Symphony on the Prairie. So, oh my gosh, it's like getting hot in here. Things are steaming up. Wow, that was weird.
That was weird. You were moving too much. The camera
Maybe.
said no, thank
Or
you.
maybe it was something paranormal.
Mm.
I forgot to mention when we were talking to Dustin, I was going to be all cool and be like, speaking of the paranormal. It didn't work out.
Good
that
transition.
way. It didn't work out that way. So anyway, not speaking of the paranormal.
But speaking of
the Paranormal Crossroad just announced we're going to the fair, the Indiana State Fair. The fairgrounds has never been investigated by a paranormal team, so this is going to be a first of its kind. And they were like, "You can bring some people with you." I was like, "Okay, we're bringing people."
I'll be there.
So Saturday, August 6th, and you don't have to stay up all night
Thank
to do
God.
this. No, the ghosts, they're around and they talk anytime. So 7 to 10. It's a nice little investigation of the Indiana Arts Building, which was originally the women's building when the fairgrounds were first built. And it's some of the employees of that building have had some experiences with some historic women.
Ooh.
So that should be fun. On sale now. Go to paranormalcrossroad.com. All of the cameras are a little weird tonight. I don't know if we got something.
Malcolm was just in here, so it's probably him.
Dang it, Malcolm. All right. So for the pet of the week, I had so many people submit their cats. So we'll go back to like regular format pet of the week next week. But I have got some cats who work hard every day and they deserve some recognition. Yeah. So these are your this is Koski. He is the office manager, shop manager at Platinum Paws. Minnie is the shop manager for LCS Heating and Cooling.
Are you playing?
Here she is.
Oh, are you playing with your shark? Are you playing with your shark? Are you playing with your shark? Okay.
She's playing with her shark. Cityway Animal Clinics has a Siamese cat at each one of their clinics.
Aww.
Violet, you can see at Hampton Designs until this weekend when Irvington Vinyl and Books is changing locations and taking Violet with them.
Aww.
And Clyde is the office manager for Coomer Roofing.
Nice.
Look at that guy. And then we also have Miss Bojangles.
Love it.
So thank you all so much for submitting your. Look at this. This is so weird.
Your camera said,
"Get me off! I don't want this."
Your camera said the show is over.
The show is done.
Time to go.
Thank you very much for submitting your cats at work. Thank you to everyone who did not take their cat to work on National Take Your Cat to Work Day. Your cat doesn't want to go to work, but there are some cats who like to work every day in offices, and you can adopt a cat for your business. Please and thank you. All right. Next week, we've got the Happy News dude returning.
Yay.
Randall Newsom will
Love
be
Randall. He's
back
so
on
funny.
the show. And we also have from Schitt's Creek. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe it. Noah Reed, who played Patrick from Schitt's Creek, is going to be on the KJ.
I need to know how
Today
you
show.
swung that interview, man.
Well, he's got an album out. He knows who to talk to sell records. You know,
True
John,
story.
I've sold a lot of records in my day.
I bet you have.
I haven't sold a lot of records. Don't tell him that. All right. End credits. Thank you so much for
We need good news, KJ.
joining us. We do need good news. Thank you, Jana, for keeping me in line. What's
do.
our tell me something good?
Our Tell Me Something Good comes from our very own Grandpa Patches.
Ooh. My good news is that I had an awesome Father's Day with the whole family here at the condo. Thank you, fam. Thank you for hosting. That was it's their new place, newer place. And it was the first time we got to have a holiday at their
Aw.
house. So it was very, very special. Thank you so much for telling us something good. Thank you for being here. We hope that the positive vibes filled you with all of the positivity that you need to get through the week. But know that every single day, whether you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, I am posting positive vibes. I'm posting what's going on in pop culture. I'm posting pets. I'm doing everything I can to keep things positive for you in a world where most of what you see on social media is not positive.
And
Patches, you got
on
something to
behalf
add?
of our adopted daughter there, producer Jana, we thank you for everything that you do, for all the positive vibes that you put out into the world.
Oh my gosh, Jana's the most positive person ever.
Oh, Patches, stop it. You're going to make me cry. I've already been crying so much today.
There's no crying in baseball.
Right?
Good thing I don't play baseball. I can cry
Right?
whenever I want.
If you're just tuning in and you missed Gina Davis, you can rewatch all of the KJ Today episodes on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/KJ Today. And we're going to go to the kitchen. Thank you. Good night.